Yes, so we're finally here. Attack on Titan, the final season, episode 4. This episode that I've been hyping up with my friends for the longest while, especially the anime only ones, Memories of the Future. The episode, or at least the contents of this episode and the chapter it's based on, which is of the same title if memory serves right. Basically, it was it changed everything, honestly, in terms of how you look at the plot and the narrative, and especially the character of Eren. So, it's been a hectic weekend, especially for me, honestly. I'm a bit out of it to say the least, so. But the reaction still arrives. Anyway, I hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday, and I hope you guys are doing awesome as well. Leave a like, let me know your thoughts. I'm looking forward to discussing the events of this episode with anime onlys. Should be a fun time. And of course, it doesn't hurt to subscribe either. If it's free, take 3. Alright, guys, let's jump into it. Alright, here we go. Jeez, like starting, and the art looks really good already. I mean, look at him. What's the worst he could do in the future? Yo, honestly, it's just the character acting, the voice acting, and everything. I guess it's just like Eren just making fun of fun of Zeke at this point, dog. Remember what I said with the last Attack on Titan reaction I did? Like, if you're gonna have a downfall of a person, of a villain or antagonist when they could have easily won, and us the audience see that, you have to make it within character for them to cause their own downfall. Else it comes off as, contrived. Yeah. I believe this is where the chapter would have started. I don't know, it's because there's not a lot of action in this episode per se. I guess just the art and the facial expressions for the characters in this episode. Yeah, but I like Eren just looked like him just tired of this whole I mean, it's as he said before they even started going over the memories. It's like, yo, dog, this is useless. This is pointless what you're doing, honestly. But as a manga reader, it has purpose. I mean, they highlighted it. You realize that Grisha is not looking at Eren. He's looking at Eren, but not young Eren. So, right? No, honestly, persons should probably go back to episode 1 and double check. I mean, even if you wanted to say he wasn't looking at future Eren there, the fact that they even highlighted it. think they missed a shot from the manga. Dog, no, brother. Yo, Eren just pissed off listening to all this, dog. Yo. It's just the OST, the soundtrack. Like this rumbling, this building up to something crazy. Dog. For Kruger. You have to avenge them. And keep going forward. Even if you die, even after you die. Yo. Dog. And here it is, the link back to season 3. Dog, the way they're doing like the facial reactions in this episode. Like, watching this, all I'm wondering is how anime onlys are really reacting to this. Dog, the OST, the music, like... Woo! Yo, welcome everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Of course, Attack on Titan Memories of the Future. Episode 79 of the entire anime. Honestly, this episode, despite it not having a lot of, well, basically any action for the most part, I'm gonna try my best to break down and, you know, sell to you the magnitude of what really just happened with this episode. Of course, let me know what you thought about my reaction to it. Hopefully I get a lot of it up because I was having issues recording my reaction. My laptop is being very stupid today, unfortunately. But yo, definitely leave your thoughts in the comment section below and let's get into it. So, Attack on Titan Memories of the Future, the chapter this episode is based on was a very big chapter when it dropped. Of course, I believe if memory serves right, the manga was further ahead when I got into it, so I wasn't exactly there at that particular month when the chapter dropped. But based on the reactions I've went back and looked at the time when it dropped, this was a very big chapter, and I really want to explain the magnitude of what it means. But let's break it down. So Again, I think a benefit of there not being a lot of action for this episode, Mappa actually had the opportunity to really home in and close in on the arts for this episode. Granted, the art from this part of the season started has been like, it's been pretty damn good, like up to this point, but I think with the absence of action, it's much more apparent, like the art just stands out much more to me. And with the nature of the episode, even seeing how Mappa actually focuses on the facial reactions of the characters, sometimes in subtle ways, sometimes in not so subtle ways, like when we're going through Grisha's memory and certain touching moments, like Eren wrapping the scarf around Mikasa, or more towards the end there when you have Zeke and Eren listening to Frida actually speak about how she feels, or at least through the will of the the old King Fritz, speak about how they feel about the state of the Eldians and how they feel their fate should be decided. You can see the either the subtle or the ferocity in the facial reactions in this episode, and I think that in combination with the OST really helps to sell sell this episode, because like the facial reactions and just the OST and how it's just how the OST was actually portrayed in this episode, with it seemingly has this ominous slow build, like it's building up to some crazy revelation. So yeah, I think when it comes down to those departments of the episode, they really sold it perfectly, honestly. And again, when it comes down to a characterization standpoint, again, I mentioned this in the reaction, if it makes it up to this video, again, Zeke is being extremely in character. Him potential, I mean, for the most part, even if you're anime only, you can kind of theorize, probably get this vibe that it's building towards something with Eren turning the tides on Zeke again. And it's as I said last week and in the reaction earlier, Zeke, if you feel that way, it kind of falls in line with Zeke causing his own downfall and it being extremely in character for Zeke, because as Eren puts it this way, Zeke is a character that well, it was kind of thrown at him as an insult, can only really define himself as a person that really denies Grisha's will in this and it makes perfect sense. And last week I made the example of comparing it to Dragon Ball Z, where Cell caused his own downfall with making Gohan go Super Saiyan 2, but even though Cell could have won like any time before then, it was in his character to cause his own downfall. And that's the beauty about how this episode actually played out with Zeke, because getting into what made this episode really shocking and explaining the whole the Attack Titan can see the memories of its future inheritors, and how that really just, I wouldn't even want to say messes up, but just kind of turns the narrative on its head. Let's see if we can break that down, because that's interesting. Now, as Grisha says, the Attack Titan can actually see the memories of its future inheritors, essentially. So in this episode, where we have Grisha and Eren, where we have Zeke and Eren going through Grisha's memories, essentially at certain key points, Grisha is getting the memory of Eren going through his own memories, if you get what I mean. So for example, when we had Grisha and Eren at the door, when Grisha was saying, yo, when I come back, I'll show you the secrets of the basement, and we see Grisha looking at adult Eren, essentially at that point, Grisha is getting like a third person view. He's getting the view of himself through future Eren's eyes, who's going through his memory at that point in time. So that's why in a lot of cases through this episode, Grisha essentially is like freaked out of about what's actually going on. Or especially when you see anytime Grisha is looking at Zeke and is kind of like, is that Zeke? Is that bearded old man? You realize Eren is behind Grisha, giving Grisha a full view of Zeke, essentially. So that's essentially how it works. So when we get to the section with the royal family, when Eren is motivating Grisha to actually kill them, essentially Grisha at that point is getting the memory of our present day Eren telling him that. So it's like probably at that point in time he's getting a next third person view and hearing Eren's voice, and you know, he's looking at himself through Eren's eyes and hearing what Eren is saying essentially. So it's kind of like an interesting two-way communication way they can actually go about things, because of course Grisha, who has the attack titan at the time, is seeing future Eren's memories, and Eren, who's going through the his father's memories because of Zeke, who brought him in there due to the influence of the founding titan. It kind of creates this this way for the past and the future to communicate essentially. So I hope I'm explaining this properly to you. But the shocking thing that really turns this whole thing on the narrative is, you remember, if you even go back to season 3, when you know Eren was kind of sad and depressed that Grisha, you know, killed the founding the royal family, and he found out he wasn't special, and he thought that, you know, him and his father and by extension him are the ones that really prevented this whole nightmare of the titans and everything to go on, like prevented it from ending. It's like the revelation in this episode now that it was actually Eren himself that motivated that he's the one that actually caused this whole, you know, Grisha killing the royal family. He's the one that actually stirred and, you know, motivated Grisha on. And the whole scene, the only thing I wanted more so with this episode, and I think they kind of downplayed it in comparison to the manga, I think the manga did it better, was showcasing the fact that Eren would have gotten this memory of, you know, seeing his future self motivate Grisha to kill the royal family, and that memory that Grisha said he got from Eren about what's to come in the future. Essentially, Eren would have gotten all of this information from the day he kissed Historia's hand, essentially. Hence why they show that younger Eren from season 3 with his face kind of in turmoil. It's supposed to represent the whole. I'll probably throw it up on screen if I can just get a screenshot of it. Yeah, so that's essentially what happened in this episode with the, you know, memories of the future. Eren being the one to really influence and motivate Grisha to kill the royal family, and the fact that the revelation of the attack titan can see the memories of his future inheritors, and Eren essentially knowing all of this information from the day he kissed Historia's hand. And of course we'll get to see, I think they actually, no, they didn't leave out anything. Yeah, there was just one panel from the manga I think they left out, if I'm remembering correctly. But all in all, this episode, if you really once you gain an understanding of what really happened in this episode, as I've been saying, that's what really turns you as a watcher, your perception of the story on its head, really, because if you're not careful, you're going to think it's some kind of strange time loop, honestly. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Of course, if you're anime only, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe. Let me know if you're a manga reader. Let me know if I did a good job of explaining what happened in this episode and essentially breaking it down. Also, there was one thing I forgot to address, the whole, you know, comparison between Eren and Zeke, as Eren himself said. And you know, these episodes leading up to the madness that's to come, these moments, you'll look back at them and they are a big indicator of what the character of Eren Yeager represents. You know, those subtle moments of him looking on his family, on him wrapping the scarf around Mikasa, on him saying stuff like, I've been this way since I've been born. If somebody tries to take my freedom, I'll take their freedom, essentially. So once you add up all these story beats, all these things about the character of Eren Yeager, it adds up to really and truly gaining a better appreciation of the controversial, polarizing ending of the manga. So just putting that out there. Anyway, Sanjae Uchiha, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my breakdown and reaction for this episode. And I'll see you guys in the next Attack on Titan. Because next episode is going to be even, well, based on how next episode, I'm predicting how next episode is going to end. Let's see. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.